championship edition of Main Street Connect's FCIAC Football Fast 5. Everything you need to know about Fairfield County High School football and the FCIAC Championship all in 5 minutes. With me once again is former Stanford High School head football coach and professional football scout for JL Sports, Kevin Jones. Kevin, you ready to break down this championship game?
I can't wait. Let's go.
Alright, FCIAC Championship still a week away, but we wanted to break it down now. Let's talk about how these two teams got here. Staples, we picked them the beginning of the season, and they haven't disappointed.
Well, yeah, I mean, Staples was the easy pick at the beginning of the season because we all felt they were going to be very strong, and they didn't let us down. So they went through a pretty tough schedule. They had a couple of games that were close, and we weren't sure what was going to happen. But certainly they've come through for us from week 1 to the end, and they deserve to be in this game.
But then on the other side of the coin, Greenwich, I mean, we kind of trashed them a little bit at the beginning of this year.
That's for sure.
Yes, and you know, they were coming off a 5-5 season. O'Neill gets hurt, you know, in the preseason against Massac. All signs pointed to another mediocre season for Greenwich, but somehow they've been able to pull it out, and thanks to New Canaan losing, they get a shot at the FCIAC Championship this year for the first time since 2007. Well,
you can never count out a Richie Albanese coach team because he's won for so long, and Greenwich has been so good for so long. So they had a rough season last year, and I certainly, like I said last week, I apologize for writing them off after that New London game because they did have that hiccup where they did not look very good. But they have done everything they need to do within this conference to be in this game, and again, just like Staples, they deserve to be here.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to break down each facet of the game and who has the advantage in each of those parts of the game. So we'll start with question 1. Who has the advantage on offense? Staples, Greenwich, or is it even?
Well, I think this is a no-brainer. This is advantage Staples on offense. You know, I watched Greenwich live last week against Danbury, and they continue to struggle on offense. They have trouble finding a rhythm. When they're good, when they're on, they put together plays and bunches and score, but they have trouble doing it consistently. And when you look at a team like Staples, they've gone on these long drives consistently. They'll grind the clock on you, and they've got a couple of explosive players. So clearly, I think the advantage goes to Staples.
All right, who has the advantage on defense?
I think this clearly goes to Greenwich. They've had so many tough games where their defense has had to step up and help them win. Staples, no slouch on defense either. They got a ton of players over there and they do a nice job on defense. But I'll give this edge to Greenwich simply because this defense has had to carry the team the whole season.
All right, question 3, who's got the edge on special teams?
Well, I've watched a lot of Greenwich film, a lot of Staples film, and both do a tremendous job in that third area of football, which is special teams. But I really believe that Greenwich has made so many plays on special. They blocked another punt for a touchdown last week. They were up 3-0 at the half and wound up blocking that punt, and that kind of turned the game around for them, put them in the lead for good. So I really like Greenwich's special teams on this. If there's a little bit of an edge, it's got to go to the Cardinals. But Staples certainly has got a ton of good special teams attributes that you can't ignore as well.
And something that might actually play a big factor into this game. Both teams have very good kickers. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, I hate kickers. So unfortunately, they're a part of the game, and when you have a good one, it's a real big advantage. So I think both teams can kick the ball very well. And again, like I said, it might be a slight advantage, but I'm going to give it to Greenwich. But both teams doing a great job on special teams.
Question 4: who's got the edge in coaching?
Well, this is a push. I mean, you can't pick one over the other. Both. You know, Rich Albanese at Greenwich and Marsh Petrosio at Staples have tremendous staffs. They're both great mentors of the game. We could come down and nitpick. We could say that Richie Albanese has got a better head of hair than Marsh Petrosio, but Marsh is rocking that stash, which kind of, that pushes that one as well. So when it comes down to it, I think you want to talk about intangibles. I think the biggest difference in this game is where it's being played. And the fact that Staples has a home game could be a huge advantage for the Records.
All right, and question 5. The most important one, who's going to win this thing and be the 2011 FCIAC champion?
Very tough to pick. I'm going to go with the hometown favorite. I'm going to go with Staples. I really like Greenwich's defense, but offensively, they've just struggled so much, and so much that I don't think I can pick them. I think they may not give up a lot of points to Staples, but I think Staples is going to find a way to get in the end zone, and they may not have to do it too many times to win this game. So I'm going to go with Staples, and I think it's going to be one heck of a football game.
Alright, went with Staples in week 1, going with Staples in week 10 here. That'll do it for this week. We're going to break this game down even more and all of the action on Thanksgiving Day. Get ready for a supersized episode next week. Until next time, I'm Eric Gendron.